I apologize if... Oh my god, TFT overlay, stop. Okay, that's a good start. Give me a sec. Just close out Overwolf. Okay, so I apologize if there's background noise during this cast. My computer is screaming out in agony and the fans are spinning like it's a jet engine. For once, this is not because of League. I know League client is unoptimized, but I can promise this is not because my fans are going crazy, not because of the League. For once, I will not blame the client for this. But it should settle down in a little bit. If it doesn't, we'll just go on throughout this entire cast with a fan spinning in the back that may or may not be picked up by the mic. We're not sure. Just gonna go with it for now. So here are our matchups. We're gonna have a Garen top against the Jax. Our jungle matchup is Volibear against Lee Sin, Veigar against the Ahri mid, Caitlyn Soraka, a pretty interesting lane, against Lulu Kog'Maw, a lane that many people, myself included, have gone on record to complain about in great detail. Actually, I don't think any of those complaints have ever been caught on film, I suppose, before. Because I don't think I've ever complained about Lulu Cog out loud, then I recorded it and uploaded it somewhere. So I'll just get my fill in now. Oh my god, that's such a degenerate combo. Who the what? I hate everything about it. Okay, complaints over. So we do have 2 members here in blue team. Not yet out of the base. Also, oh my gosh, that's a default Soraka splash. Not splash model. I have not seen that in a very long time. Almost every Soraka I've seen has had a skin, just because she sells a lot of skins. And now she's in the game, so now it's just a Volibear. And Volibear, he's here as well, a minute late to the party, running out of the base, back to the shops 3 times, just to get everything he needs. It's okay if he misses the word trinket, you'll get one automatically when you leave the base. There it is. 1 minute 20. The Soraka does in fact start Q, which is something you're supposed to do. I'm surprised she announced it. I mean, in this day and age, you should just assume Sorakas are starting Qs. Unless something has disastrously gone wrong on level 1. Which most case doesn't really happen. You have a Caitlyn. This is such an interesting lane down here. You have a Caitlyn who can abuse her range, Soraka can keep her alive, but your opponent is Lulu Cog. Perhaps second only to Ezreal Yuumi in terms of pure cancer to play against. It's one of those lanes where... I mean, I wouldn't hate it nearly as much if there wasn't this impending sense of dread when I go up against Lulu Cog. If you know, like, at some point, if you mess up even a little bit, this Kog'Maw will just kill you. It's not a good feeling. If he ever gets a good laning phase, God forbid the Kog'Maw gets a good laning phase, I believe the game was just end. It's a very oppressive lane combination. Lulu can keep a Kog'Maw alive, Lulu can peel very efficiently, and Kog'Maw can just stand still and shoot people. And with a pocket Lulu, he just does not die, and he cannot be engaged on, and it's so annoying. Remember back when Kog'Maw could break the attack speed cap? That was something else entirely too. Just like a 4.0 attack speed Kog'Maw. Standing perfectly still unless you're that Korean and then you're actually microing it. But I don't know. I kind of miss that Kog'Maw nowadays. There's a motorcycle outside of my house. Okay, that's loud enough to definitely be picked up on the mic. The mic will definitely have heard that motorcycle. If it didn't, then damn, this is a good Carnivore mic. I like it. 300 gold ahead for blue team so far. Just minor laning advantages. Nothing too explosive yet, but we do have Lee Sin in a brush. He's gonna have a mad encounter with a bear. As his buffs run out, And now he's actually taking this fight 1 level down and 2 buffs down. The Volibear E shields him up. He wins that trade square up. Ahri gets locked in the cage. Lee Sin is in so much trouble. Ahri charms the Volibear in. She'll be the martyr here and she will die for her jungler's sins. I'm not sure what Lee Sin was trying to do there. He's a level down. He doesn't have buffs. There's no way he takes that fight against the Volibear and wins. Ahri does come down and pay that debt with her own blood. She's now super behind in mid lane as a result of that. Just an unwinnable fight in the river. Jax is up top, gonna try to spin on the Garen, getting some good hits in. Oh, Kog'Maw, be very careful. The Peacemaker does go through and chunk him out. The Guardian Shield eats all of it. It's a very defensive Lulu as well, starting with the Targons. Or at least the whatever her equivalent of Targons is. Relic Shield. Yeah, it's still Relic Shield. When do we start calling that Targons just in general? When did that term start catching on? I guess it's when they took out Face of the Mountain. Lulu gonna land a Glitter Lance for an offensive trade. Kog'Maw presses W for 1 CS. And that's gonna send him back to base. Can't really stay in this lane against a Caitlyn Soraka like that, but once again, this Kog'Maw, he'll be fine. Oh, the spinning wards up top, and Garen squarely loses that one. He has a flash away, but you cannot flash away from the Leaf Strike. Jax will get a good solo kill, live with a shred of life. He will be just fine. The Bester shows who is best in this lane with that solo kill. Definitely making up a bit for the mid deficit. Speaking of the mid deficit, Ahri's trying to hold even in CS for now, but it's double Doran's against last chapter, and here comes the Lee Sin for a gank. He doesn't have the flash. Oh, he does have the flash, but he doesn't have anything that can lock down the Caitlyn yet. Volibear comes in, he's running down the Lee Sin, but he's running out of the stun, so he can't land CC. So both junglers visit bot lane, nothing bad happens. Also, Jax decided to fast back, which is running your face into a turret. Classic move as always. Kog'Maw's gonna farm it up down here. And now Ahri about 2 minion waves now behind the Kog'Maw. Not the Kog'Maw, the Veigar. The Kog'Maw will get the Lee Sin out. The Lee Sin is suffering a little bit in the kill department, CS department, and now objective control department. Volibear has him thoroughly trounced, and this might be another very dead monk. He's blind, he can't see, he doesn't know where he's going. Oh no, the Volibear knows. He's setting up an ambush, he's coming in now. It's a level 4 Lee Sin, and the second buff has spawned already. He's so incredibly behind. Kog'Maw's gonna flash forward offensively, but eats a trap, cannot path around it in time. So that's flash down for no summoner traded. No, Caitlyn does flash as well. It's a flash for flash trade in the bottom lane. Caitlyn will get slowed up by the goo. Very low on mana. She has enough for a net. She has to be very careful. Kog'Maw may look low, but there's a Lulu behind him. Another scuffle coming out in the top lane. The spin is fully being ignored by the Jax, so Jax has to be very careful here. Garen does not have Ignite. He will just die in that 1v1. He took a fight he can't possibly win. Berserker Greaves really cannot beat a Cutlass. That is such a huge difference. And Jax gonna walk back home with a second solo kill in his pockets. He's getting very strong now. It's now 8 minutes into the game. And Jax, he might finally get a few plays for himself, but 8 minutes in means that Herald has spawned. Both junglers are coincidentally topside, but Lee Sin was quite possibly the latest level 6 I've ever seen from a Lee Sin in one of these casts. Not level 6 yet, at the 8.5 minute mark. He's killed 4 buffs, kind of, 3 buffs, one of them was stolen. But he's still level 6. He's so far behind in this lane. Well, in this jungle matchup. And he's getting beat up by a bunch of tiny rocks. Okay, there he is. He doesn't actually die to it. But even that isn't level 6. Are you kidding me? He's not going to hit 6 until 9 minutes and a half. At bet. Actually, what is his EXP bar right now? Okay, yeah, he is almost to 6. If he was really far away, I would have just screamed. He does need that level 6 very fast. He's gonna get it at 9.5. He's gonna take the Gromp and get it. But that means Herald, free Herald here for the Volibear and Garen. They're going to take it here. Volibear is almost gonna be 2 levels ahead of the Lee Sin. That's super crazy. Even Veigar gets pulled into hell. Missing pings are coming down, but Lee Sin can fight this. Not at level 5, not without flash, not without really anything. He took Electrocute too. This is the Lee Sin with Electrocute. He wants to do the damage variant just based off the rune choice. But it's hard. It's hard to do DPS as Lee Sin when you hit level 6, 9 minutes, 40 seconds in. Trying to head bot, that gank's not gonna work out. He has no flash. He can't kick anybody, and there's the Volibear for the ambush up top. Jax, he's 2 levels above, but he's being 2v1 as well. That's gonna be a very dead Jax. Lee Sin will tank a bullet for the President. President Caterpillar. The Secret Service protects him. And there's the Lee Sin. He's coming in now. There's a Wild Growth as well. The damage is coming down. He finally gets on the board. He gets a kill of his own. The Soraka will be killed off by Secret Service. Get down, Mr. President, and he will take out the, not the assassin, but the person handing the assassin his gun. Actually, no, that person, no, assassins work alone, right? There's no assassin assistant. Like if Caitlyn's like the sniper that tries to take out the president, will she be given an assassin? Just kind of like a secondary to help her in the mission? Whoever that secondary is, Secret Service just killed him. And also Secret Service is blind. Not sure what the hiring process for that was like. Can you imagine that interview process where Lee Sin applies to be Secret Service? The interview guy just goes, "So you're blind." And Mr. President getting his hands dirty, killing off the assassin himself, taking matters into his own hands. That interview process though for a blind Secret Service agent, like, well, so you're blind. Oh yeah, yes, I'm blind, but I can shoot out a sonar wave from my feet, and that will tell me where the enemy is. And also, I can slap the ground and generate a seismic tremor that will give off all the locations of enemies near me. So you see, I don't actually need vision. And then the guy doing the interview will go, "That's crazy. You're hired. Your job is to protect the president as he farms, and he'll eventually get force slotted, and he'll solo the enemy team. But until he reaches that point, you have to throw your life away for him. Get in front of every bullet." And then the Lee Sin was like, "Oh, okay, but I'm gonna take Electrocute, and I'm gonna build some damage items." That's the story of how this team got formed. But while Lee Sin is deliberating over his new job in life, blue team takes away Drake number 2. They still don't, actually they don't have the Herald, they did deploy it. But the trade top is still not looking very good for the Garen here. Oh, the tower shot gets tanked. Oh, Garen's so close to ignite. He might flash forward for this kill. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. Jax will live. That tower shot tank almost cost him his life. The execution almost got him. And there's the Kog'Maw. He's flashing in. Mr. President wants some blood again. And there's another 2v2 kill. But behind him, there's additional threats coming in. And the President gets taken out. There it is. Meanwhile, top lane, Jax overstays quite a little bit. And Garen's Ignite comes back up. So that's going to give him a solo kill. And suddenly, blue team looking really good. And with the death of the president, I believe the United States line of succession means the vice president is next up. So, introducing Vice President Kog'Maw, which is an exact clone of the president. This is ultra nepotism, where your vice president is literally a clone of yourself. Lee Sin's gonna kick away the Garen. He'll be fine. He's, well, not really fine. He's like 30 CS down. But he won't die to the Garen. And he protects the tower for a little bit. Nope, just kidding. He can't protect anybody. He can barely protect the president. And there's the Veigar solo kill, dropping Dark Matter on top of the Ahri. And so we have some multiple winning lanes. I say top lane right now is pretty even. Mid lane is a wash. Veigar's just destroying the Ahri. Although I don't actually blame the Ahri for losing this lane, with the Lee Sin kind of sabotaging her in the very early game. And just being kind of hard to recover when you're put into that situation. Especially against Glacial Augment builds, where in the mid game, GLP, especially on a character like Veigar, GLP plus Event Horizon, is just such a potent mid game fighting tool. And now Mr. President, Mr. New President, going to try to take out the assassin yet again. Bot lane is actually losing quite badly here for blue team. And meanwhile, let's check in with our Secret Service agents. Jax, he's a loose cannon, you know, but he gets his job done. He's not even a government official, he's just a hired mercenary. And so far, he's killing off the Executioner, who can just drop a large sword on whoever he wants and delete them from the map. So he's holding off the Executioner, and we have the blind Secret Service agent who's going to immediately step on a trap mid-dash because, you know, he can't see. Understandable. He's actually doing not very well for himself. In the mid lane, we have the presidential escort. It's a fox because, oh yeah, I didn't explain this. The president is a furry. He likes foxes, fox girls. So that's why the mid laner's there. And bot lane, we have the president and the primary bodyguard, which is a little girl with a fairy behind her at all times. Literally using magic to save the president. And against him is a lineup of a lot of people that can definitely take down the president. We have a literal assassin in Caitlyn who has a sniper rifle. She's being backed up by a field medic, because why not? There's a Veigar who can also lock the president up. In a cage, I mean. But once the president gets locked up, he's easy pickings for everybody. And top lane we have the Executioner, and there's a wild polar bear in the map as well. Because why not? And this polar bear right now is currently destroying the tower right outside the White House. And now the president might be in trouble, but he's going to return fire. He gets silenced. And he's going to get rooted. Here comes the rest of the damage. The sniper kills off the new president. And we need the third one. And now the bodyguard is not long for the world either. But here comes the loose cannon mercenary at the last possible moment. Oh god, what movie is this? He is going to take revenge for the dead president. And the Caitlyn net fails to send her over the wall. That is going to be a triple kill for the hired gun. And now the monk dies in the mid lane. The Garen, the Executioner, comes down. He wants one more kill for his accolade, but he has to be really careful. He can't keep tanking a tower. He is going to back off, and that is actually 4 bodies on the ground in exchange for 3. But it is a national tragedy as our second president is also assassinated. So now we welcome our third president, which is also an exact clone of the first one. Because the entire country is actually just multiple copies of Kog'Maw. The dragon is up. We are going to have Jax and the president killing it off. Is there going to be a steal? No, there's not. The first act of our third president. I like him already. Secure global objectives. Get this country back on the right foot. Here comes the Executioner. He's not going to find it. The hired gun. The mercenary. The loose cannon. He's too cool for this movie plot. He just recalls as the mercenary is chasing him. He warps out of this reality and back home. And here's the bodyguard. She's gonna get clobbered up. The lightning bolt is dropping down. There is no more bodyguard, and now the president is fully exposed. The bullet is coming down, and here comes the Executioner. The president invokes his emergency escape button, and he is going to run away, but he has been heavily bruised. The rest of the Secret Service needs to try to get out. But we have the hired mercenary along with the blind Secret Service guy. Can they make it out of here? The polar bear is coming in, and the cage locks up both of them. The mercenary has been captured, and the Secret Service not long for the world either. Now the fox lady is coming in. Now along with the president, They're gonna try to clean house. Oh no, but the fox lady, she gets put into a cage. It was reserved for the president, but it's good enough for the fox. That is gonna be a 3-for-1. They only kill the polar bear, which is a poor act in office, really. You shouldn't be killing polar bears, Mr. President. They're endangered. I mean, have you seen those climate warming documentaries? They have it rough right now in the North Pole. Further siege done to red team's base. They are going to take away the tier 1 tower. Lulu is going to try to clear away some side words. Oh, 1 auto off. Okay, gonna compensate that with red word. Question mark pings going down. They do want this Herald. If Herald's in combat, it despawns at 55. It does seem like they will have enough time to finish it. 15 seconds to kill that. Seems like it's pretty easy. Yep, they got it. Unless, oh, the Secret Service. No, he misses. And that is gonna be Herald too. This is why you don't hire blind Secret Service people. That's not Secret Services. That's just special services. When you're hiring blind people to defend the president. Jack's gonna smack away at the top, but he's being chased down. The loose cannon. This is not a happy ending to a movie. The mercenary gets taken out. They're running out of guys to protect the president with, and suddenly the assassins coming in hard with a 5,000 gold lead. More well-funded than the president's fund. And now the treasury is bleeding. The president is running. The bodyguard is being shot in the head, but he's still okay. They're gonna carry on. The polar bear is gonna come in, and the charm will whiff. The president gets locked up and killed off. And now we're gonna look forward to our president number 4, as he will soon be inaugurated. You gotta wonder, at what point will this nation run out of presidents that are exact copies of the first one? I feast on your tread. Wouldn't that make for like a good dystopian novel? Like, you just have this president, but like the next election, they just elected a clone of him, and then turns out like he can just generate infinite clones of this president. Like, he could be a really good or a really bad president. I think the plot could work either way. But here comes the siege on the red team base. The Jax, the loose cannon, he's almost dead, but he's just fine. He actually makes it out. And now the president's angry. The 4th president is here to take matters into his own hands. He's going to try to chase down as many stragglers as he can, but he has walked a little bit too far. Dark matter takes out half of his life bar. Oh my goodness. Almost too much damage to just outright kill him. So now this president has a legitimate thing to be worried about, which is Veigar can just probably QR him and he die. This might be a game where you get Wit's End. Well, Wit's End over Blade of the Rune King, or Wit's End over Runaan's even. Actually, I wouldn't recommend that over Runaan's, but I would definitely consider picking it up against specifically the Veigar. If nothing else, QSS is almost necessary this game. Oh wait, the blind Secret Service guy. Oh, he flashes in place. He's too blind to see where he's going, and that is gonna be yet another kill over to the assassin squad. They're being led by a polar bear, and they're just not even gonna question it. Oh, maybe that's why they're Russian. No way, that doesn't make sense. 23 minutes in, it's 3 Drakes to 1. And there it is. The president, he gets locked up on the side of the cage. The border guards caught him as he's trying to cross. And that's 3 bodies on the ground. It's just the bodyguard remaining. They book it back home to inaugurate President number 5, taking over the country in the time of great need. This country is going down the crap hole, guys. It's not looking good. We might want to press a reset button on this one. The Fox Lady gonna try to make a play happen. Nothing's gonna happen. Soraka will heal them up. Flash! Star Call! And suddenly, oh, the Fox Lady suddenly makes a good contribution and takes out the cage. There's no more lockdown, I guess. They took out the warden, the prison guard. Wait, no, it's the warden, not the prison guard. They took out the warden, so now there's no more cages. And Kog'Maw 5th gets elected and inaugurated, and he will lead this country out of the crap hole. And he's gonna get them to a win. I believe in the 5th president. I believe he has what it takes to lead the loose cannon and his team of blind secret agents to a victory. I believe in him. Oh, just kidding. There was a surrender vote for red team. But the president never gives up. Not this 5th one. The 6th one might give up, but the 5th one will not. He will fight for this country until the bitter end, which may or may not be coming very soon, judging by how far ahead blue team is. Oh no, the loose cannon mercenary. He does beautifully dodge out the stun, but now he really needs a target to go to. He's gonna word hop to his own word, and here comes the blind secret ace service guy. He's gonna kick back the bear, but the bear is undaunted. They can just continue to chase, and now the fox lady up top, she just fully gets killed off by the executioner. And now things are even more dire, but the 5th president has arrived to the scene. A few more shots takes down the polar bear to half health. But he can't confirm a kill. He does go for the QSS. That is the correct option. That is the key out of the warden's cage. But what can he do with it right now? They're still suffering from an 8,000 deficit. Almost as much debt as the US is in right now. I don't actually know how much debt the country is in. I don't even live there. And the QSS gets the president out. The loose cannon mercenary gonna try to spin his way out. And suddenly, the assassin squad pillaging the front lawn of the White House. And there's the 5th president. He's gonna get caught out and killed. Oh no, I believed in him. He was the one to lead this country. And now we gotta throw the fate of this nation into the 6th guy? I don't like the 6th guy. I said earlier he gives up. I don't know about this anymore. That is gonna be Baron Nashor. I don't have a good metaphor for it off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's a really witty one you can make for it. Just not in the moment. Oh, the fox lady gonna try to make a play happen. The electrocute. It does kill out the Vigar. So suddenly there's one last Baron on the map for blue team. But red team, they're still so far behind. This is now almost a 10,000 gold lead here for blue team. What can red team even do against this? They need their president. The 6th one is here. But is he just gonna give up? Not this president. Maybe. Will he give up? Just like I prophesized? I mean, if the 5th president's supposed to be really stoic, and the 6th one is supposed to be a quitter, the 7th one is just gonna be incompetent. And then the 8th one's gonna be really good. I'm calling it now. If he even gets that far. Now the loose cannon gonna get himself a tower. In fact, that is red team's first tower. And he might pay for it with his life. But that is just the way of the loose cannon. And there it is. But that's 2 ultimates down to kill him off. He's just too dangerous to let live. This mercenary has certainly paid for himself. Just relatively compared to the rest of the team. Like, I don't think he's paid for himself in a vacuum though. But compared to the rest of the team, the mercenary has definitely paid for himself. Now it's actually a pretty slow game here. Blue team has Baron. They're just not doing that much with it. They could just group and push. They are gonna wait for the soul instead, which is a really good call. Get the soul and just crush red team's hope and dreams. And seeing this, what will our 6th president do? What will he do? Will he give up? Or will he lead his nation to one final stand against the invading forces of I said there was a polar bear, so Russia. I don't know. Oh, there it is. The polar bear comes in, jumps on the fox. That's going to be instant assassination, and now the fight breaks out. The cage does not lock down. The president, he is shooting out the back, but only killing a polar bear so far. The tower is under siege. The Infernal Soul is ticking. The AoE is strong, and the inhib is not long for the world. It's a 2-for-1 so far. The blind guy gets locked up in a cage. He breaks out at the last possible second, and now it's the president. He is free hitting. He kills off the warden. It's a 2-for-2 so far, but they lost so much of their base. It's going to be an extremely desperate defense. He still has a QSS, and they do not have the CC to lock him down yet. The Spit is coming back down. He does so much damage, but the blind Secret Service agent gives his life. And there's so much damage, but the bodyguard shields him up. The president's burning down. He's on life support, but he makes it back home. It's a 3-for-3. They stave off the push. But that's such a heavy, heavy fight to take. They do pull back the deficit ever so slightly, but they lost so much of their base. The White House is in shambles. It's like the Division, where like the White House is just in ruins, and there's no president. The president actually popped off. Actually, I shouldn't say that. The president popped off. But the White House has been reduced to ruin. And now armed protesters are going to be charging the palace with super advanced gear, leading the charge. Every 30 seconds, 2 of them will make their way into the White House. And it's now time to defend the homeland. 30 minutes in. I mean, if the president wants to win this game, this is a hell of a hill to climb. Against Seoul, against basically Baron in another 2 minutes, it's gonna be rough. But he has to rally his people. Except the loose cannon. You can't rally a loose cannon. The loose cannon mercenary will do what he wants. And right now what he really wants is to beat up a polar bear. Except humans should not be fighting polar bears. They're really strong. And meanwhile top lane, the fox gets caught out as well. Oh no, this is just going wrong in all ways. The mercenary will make it out with a shred of his life. He did have to flash out to make it happen. But he makes it out regardless. But the president, he's leading the blind Secret Service agent. They're going out. He is going to meet the enemy on the front lines. And they kick back the assassin. They kill him off instantly. But there's so much damage coming down. However, the second bodyguard is not enough! The strike from the Trinity Force finishes him, and in the president's absence, the polar bear is just wreaking havoc in the White House, and suddenly national secrets are being lifted, and now the nuclear codes gets leaked. Blue team gets their hands on it. They're gonna press the button. Teleports are coming down. Protesters are banging on the doors of the presidential suite, and there it is. Blue team wins the game. And I'm sad that we didn't see the 7th president, which I prophesized to suck, get inaugurated.